Hey everybody, welcome back to microbeerreviews.com. This is a really cool beer review because this is a uh, very small brewery in North Carolina, just north of Raleigh, the capital, in a little town called Wake Forest, North Carolina. Not in Winston-Salem, not that Wake Forest. It's called White Street Hoptimistic. White Street is the main street that runs through the old school downtown city of Wake Forest. And this brewery, I think, has only been out for 2 years. Let me see if I can give you a date. Not long. But it's become very popular. They have several beers that they brew year-round and seasonally, just like most of the other breweries. But what's really interesting about it is their distribution recently has exploded. They won a ton of awards in 2014 at the World Beer Cup. And this particular one, their Hoptimistic IPA, is kind of one of their showcase beers. It says, it spares no expense to impart a positive outlook on the most discerning hopheads. This glass half full IPA has notes of pungent citrus and earthy resins with an uplifting malt balance. Now, personally, I think that is an extremely boring description. And when I read it before I cheated. I had one. I was excited. I found it. I mean, that's boring. Excuse the lack of excitement. But anyway, it's 7.5 ABVs. It's 65% IBUs, 65 IBUs, and I just it's their tagline is "Big time beer with a small town soul." And if you've ever been to Wake Forest, North Carolina, or if you haven't, it truly looks like the way the town is designed. It looks like it's back in, the early century. But I mean, it looks like a classic IPA. It's got that nice orangey color. It's a little unfiltered. It's got the perfect thin white frothy foamy head on it. It's got a little bit of carbonation, not too much, but it's got this really what I call beautiful orange-ish juice type color to it. The smell was way better than I expected. It's definitely fruity. It's definitely hoppy, but it's got kind of this malty backbone to it, which obviously they talk about the uplifting malt balance. But in aroma, not necessarily in flavor, which here again, I'm a fan of. So, cheers. Good. It definitely has a lot of what they call the earthy resins. It's kind of the piney. It's got kind of a little like pop zest to it too, almost like some lemon zest is in there. But it's got this really smooth hoppy and fruity aftertaste that's really good. Most IPAs that I drink, it's the opposite. You get a lot of the fruit on the front end and a lot of the earthy tones on the back end. This one is, to me, tastes different. It's more earthy and resiny on the front of the palate, and the back end is just this nice, crisp, sweet, smooth, hot balance. It's much better than I anticipated. It's good. No alcoholic, boozy flavor at all. IBU 65, tastes like it right on. I almost didn't have phenomenal expectations. And not that it's phenomenal. On our rating scale between 1 and 5, I would probably give this a 4. I paid $9 for the 6-pack, which I think is a steal for this class, because this isn't playing with the big boys, as I call it. They're not going to compete with Lagunitas, Stone Brewing Company, some of the big IPAs that we drink, Oscar Blues, and you're not competing with these guys. But it's a small market that I think for a small brewery is awesome. Very, very worthy of drinking and purchasing. So, kind of a long review, but it's also a very unique IPA, I think, in terms of not only the way it looks, the way it tastes, but most importantly, I think it's something that with larger distribution, which is obviously how these guys make their money, and I'm happy to support them, I think people kind of discover some of these small towns, small breweries, and enjoy them. So, if you've tried the Hoptimistic from White Street Brewing Company out of North Carolina, please leave comments on our YouTube channel or website. As always, thank you for watching microbeerreviews.com or Facebook or on Twitter. We upload all the time, and we do appreciate you watching. We'll see you again real soon.